What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
And once again, we're back at it to answer more questions in another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. I'm sorry for hitting the mic. Also, subscribe to the channel because it's a new channel. We started it not too long ago, like a month ago. And we're almost already at 2,000. So thanks for the support, guys.
Right. Send it to all your friends, family, your grandmas, your grandpas, your great-great-great-great-grandsisters. That's not a thing, but send it to them anyway.
Yeah. If they fought in World War I, don't send it to them. Next, or this question comes from. Oh,
Mark,
I have one.
You got it?
Yeah,
I got it as well.
Okay. Magos Dominus. How could Amazon ruin a Warhammer 40,000 movie?
So I think there's many ways this can happen. One of the ways that it could happen is, dare I say it, have Zack Snyder direct it.
Yeah, because he directed
Rebel Moon.
And that was trash, dude.
This, from what I heard, was originally supposed to be a Warhammer 40K inspired movie. And you can see the inspiration if you watch Rebel Moon.
Kind of, but not really.
I mean, they got power swords. They almost have like bolt pistols and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, like
Rebel Moon had the worst story. It was a played out story of the whole is it the Ronin thing?
Yeah, it's like the Ronin thing, the Chosen One. The plot armor heavy on the main character. And then the one thing that Zack Snyder always does is slow-mo, and I think that kind of ruins the action sequences. Because it's like, okay, yeah, it's cool, but it's like, do I really have to stare at this person screaming, jumping for 30 seconds? It's like, nah, just keep going with the action.
Yeah. A Zack Snyder Warhammer 40K movie would be trash.
Yeah.
But I think at the key there is that a bad Warhammer 48,000 movie would be one with a shitty story.
There you go.
And I think the big problem is that they're going to try to not rewrite, but they're going to try to tell the story of the Horus Heresy. Too big. Mm-hmm. That's too big of a story.
Yeah.
And it could be pulled off well, but I don't have high hopes for that.
Yeah. We talked about this before, but I think the way Amazon / Henry Cavill, because I guess he's tied into it heavy, is to basically do a story kind of like the original Iron Man, where it's self-contained. Don't leave open-endedness to a universe that you might never get to actually accomplish. Make the movies great. Good writing, good inspiration, take stuff from the lore and incorporate it. And that way you could have a good standalone movie that a lot of people would go into, and that's going to get them to dive into the lore. And with that, over time, you can create the Horus Heresy. But don't start with the Horus Heresy.
Yeah, I think right now we're reading the Primarch series in the Black Library. And if Amazon were to do that, if they were to focus on individual Primarchs, make their movies special to them. Don't try to create one day there's going to be a Thanos, aka Horus. No, don't do that. Focus on Angron. Focus on his his PTSD, his aggression, all that kind of stuff. Jump over to Magnus. Focus on Magnus' story. But yeah, I think what you said is true. Focus on individual movies. Mm-hmm. Don't focus on the universe. Because that's what we do as players too. Mm-hmm. It's not like when we're creating the lore or the background to our homebrew stuff, we're focusing on this army, our army. We're not over here saying and the Emperor or our chapter master talked to the Emperor. No, none of that stuff. So.
Yeah. Definitely don't give us a movie with all 20 Primarchs in it.
Yeah.
Focus on one at a time. I would say don't even include the Primarchs right away. I'd say Eisenhorn or God's Ghost would be a really good introduction to the 40K universe.
For sure.
Because you get to see the universe in the eyes of what people can relate to, humanity.
Yeah.
And then you could show them just how powerful a Space Marine is. Because if you show them a Space Marine right off the bat, that's already starting at the major leagues.
Yeah.
That's going to be the baseline. So whenever you do see humanity, it's going to kind of lower it. It's like, well, why do I care about this human when I want to see a freaking Space Marine doing things? It's like, give us humanity and then show us the badassness of a human or a Space Marine. That way you could see the power difference between them.
Fallout did that. Like Fallout started off with the dudes in the, what are they called? The vaults.
The vaults.
And then they showed us the Brotherhood of Iron or whatever.
Brotherhood of Steel.
Steel, something like that. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. If they wanted to give us a world building type of movie. But yeah, another way that Games Workshop or Amazon can fuck up Warhammer 40K is if they do the same thing that Harry Potter did of making it only British actors. I think that would fuck up the movie. Not that the Harry Potter series was bad, but I found out that Robin Williams was actually he wanted to be casted, and they told him no because only UK actors could be casted.
Interesting.
If you jump on over to our podcast channel, link down in the description below, you'll see that we're doing like what would Angron, who would play a good Angron, and we don't really name too many UK actors, but at the same time, I could see why some characters would be like the Lion. I think would be a good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But yeah.
Let us know your thoughts down below. What storyline do you think should be the first storyline to be incorporated into a movie?
Yeah. Next question.
This one is by Ed Handel. I can't believe you guys answered the mom and dad question. Actual goats. Now for an actual Warhammer 40K question. If GW contacted you guys and offered you to make any mini you desired, which unit or character would you pick and why?
Wazdaka.
There's already a Wazdaka.
No, there's not.
Well, wasn't there one?
There's never been a Wazdaka model. There's been, you can play them. There's stories about them, but
there was rules for them, right?
Yeah. But no, we've never gotten a model. We've gotten I don't even think we've gotten a warlord on a bike unless you count the Forge World one. So yeah, Wazdaka.
And that's an orc, if you guys were.
And he's riding a bike. It's called the Bike of the Apocalypse. And the whole story behind that is that he took that bike and slammed it into a Titan while he was in flames. He survived and everything. The Titan did not. Also, I think the new lore says that he somehow figured out how to put a... what are they called? The things that let you jump through the warp? A warp drive? Onto his bike. So he jumps from basically all over the galaxy.
He's like Ghost Rider for the orcs.
Yeah. That's fucking badass. Like, I want a model. But yeah.
That's really cool. I've said this 100 times, and it'd be some type of aquatic race. Yeah. Even if it's for like kill team, have some like breachers that like focus on underwater like missions and stuff like that. Scuba-ish gear, but all like grim dark and 40K-ish.
You could definitely do it.
Yeah, definitely. Or if it's just something normal, give us the void suits that we see Tau use in like void warfare that aren't actually battle suits. It's like a mix between a battle suit and like Tau regular fire warrior armor, but just a step above.
That would be awesome. Do you remember when Blackstone Fortress came out? There were models for Psychers. They're dudes that are basically floating.
Oh, yeah.
With chains holding them down. Yep. Something like that for aquatic stuff would be really cool. Giving that aesthetic of like they're floating in air. Or underwater kind of thing. That would be really cool.
Yeah, because there is an aquatic race for Age of Sigmar. Yeah. Which are like water elves.
Yeah. And you could even do like a Zinchian themed thing, because that's what most of those models are too.
They're like fishy and bird-like.
Yeah. This is not a question, but Cold Iron King says, "Sound Alchemist, the shirt was tight, bro. Don't even think about it."
All right, I'll give you guys more color from now on.
Yeah, if you jump over, I think it's like 4 episodes ago, you wore some pretty fly stuff.
It was just dark green and gold.
It looked cool though.
Yeah, I mean, if the lion wears those colors, why shouldn't you?
True. Next question.
This one's by Clovis Longworm. What's the difference between a wife and a girlfriend?
40 pounds.
That's like an old school joke. Yeah. Like I could hear like my dad saying that.
Yeah. I mean, there's some truth to it, right?
Right. Just like joking. The more you love somebody, the more you'll get comfortable with them. You go out on more dates, you eat more, etc.
Definitely the eating more for sure. I think every couple though, if they've been going out for longer than 3 years, they always want to have the couple goal of losing weight. And it's nice when you see them at the gym. And I've been in relationships like that, and yeah, it's cool to help each other out to like get to a certain body type or whatever, as long as you're being healthy about it.
Right.
Because it's always bad to see when couples turn into junkies, because crack makes you skinny. Next question.
Musica player. What earthly cultures survived to the current time of 40K?
One of my favorites right now, it's not 40K, it's 30K, but remember when we read Magnus, Master of Prospero? Mm-hmm. Magnus is searching through, spoiler alert, he's searching through the ruins of this planet called, what's it called? Morningstar.
There you go.
And in it, we learn that it was an old human colonization fleet that came from China, because they had dragon motifs.
Yeah.
So China is still survived to 30K.
To an extent, because I mean the ship did like have some catastrophic.
Yeah, they turned into psychers, right?
Psyker ghosts.
Yeah, that was crazy. But it's that, and then anything else?
Catholicism survived.
Yeah.
Saint, or well, he wasn't a saint, but the perpetual Alanis Pius was a devout Catholic,
which is crazy.
Yeah.
And there's influences. Chagatai Khan with the Mongol Empire, Gilliman with the
Roman motif, and I guess the whole Imperium in general has like Roman stuff embedded into its whole inception.
Yeah. What else? Because I'm trying to think. Like Vulcan, not really, right? That was the Promethean cult is exclusive to that universe.
Nocturne.
Yeah. But yeah. Magnus was a collector of a lot of ancient archaeotech, specifically plays, and I think in the book Master of Prospero, he mentioned something about Shakespeare.
Oh, speaking of Shakespeare, isn't there like what's it called? Not a servitor, the floating skulls.
The servo skulls?
Servo skulls, there you go. Isn't one of them supposed to be Nikola Tesla's skull?
Oh, yeah.
Which is crazy to think that would survive without like breaking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he's buried, right? They probably unearthed
But I mean, like I don't know. I don't know how brittle bones become over time.
Oh, that's true. But yeah, that's all I can think of.
I'm sure there's way more. We're just not fathoming the craziness of it all.
Yeah. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we'll talk tomorrow.
That's right. As always, it's been the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
And we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.